What's going on, YouTube family? Today we're coming at you with a shoe review. I know usually I'm behind the camera, or I'm in front of the camera per se, and I'm cutting my hair, but today I wanted to mix it up. I'm really liking the consumer reviews that I see on YouTube, so I kind of figured why not jump in that mix. So today I got my first pair of McKays. Came in about 4 or 5 days, so pretty fast shipping. The shoe is Blake stitch. So one of the things that I've kind of learned over this past month or so getting into shoes is that the construction of the shoe can sometimes be more important than the design of the shoe. So a lot of the reason why I buy shoes is because of the aesthetic. I like the look, I like the last of the shoe, the shape of the uppers. But now what I've learned after kind of informing myself on what makes a good shoe, the sole construction somewhat lends to a longer lifeline on shoes. So these Blake McKays that I bought are Blake stitched shoes, meaning that the uppers are stitched to the bottom of the soles. And so there are 3 different types of shoe constructions. There's Goodyear welt, there's Blake stitch, and then there's cemented. Most of the shoes that we get at affordable price points in retailers are cemented shoes. But the reasons why we buy them so often is because cemented shoes or cemented soles are not meant to be 20, 30-year shoes, right? But once you get into Blake stitch and Goodyear stitching, or Goodyear welting, those type of shoes are meant to last for decades. So I made the investment and got some Blake McKays. Now this brand might seem familiar because DSW does have its own line of Blake McKay shoes. However, what Blake McKay sources to DSW is the cemented construction so they can meet the consumer at an affordable price point. So these Blake McKays are direct to consumer. I got these straight off of Blake McKay's website, and they have different options of the cemented shoes versus the Blake stitching. So I decided to make the investment, paid a little bit more money for these. So the regular retail price on these is $200. They had a sale of $118. So about, what, 30% off? And I decided, well, I found, thankfully, another discount. So the shoe ended up being around $95. Pretty affordable for a Blake stitch shoe. So I'm really excited to unbox these. Nice little Blake McKay envelope. I'm not sure what that's for. Open it up later. Return and exchange form. And then a beautiful box. Wow, these shoes got some weight to it. So these shoes are sourced and made in Italy. But then of course they have their own American distributors and supply chain. So that's why they came so fast. It's not like they're sending them from Italy. They still have the product in the States. So this is the box. Very nice box, very heavy. And this is me opening the box, covered up with some nice cloth. And then here is the shoe. Very nice shoe. So I love the uppers, and that's why I was attracted to the shoe. But what I really want to show you all is the bottom of the shoe that really stands out to me. So that is what a Blake stitch looks like. Now there's going to be a little bit of slippage, especially when they're brand new, because it's wood. So a lot of shoe companies that make shoes like this, they'll add a rubber piece to add a little bit of traction on it. So these have the little rubber piece, so I'm not sliding all over the place. That's just something to be mindful of. When you don't have rubber, you're not going to get that same traction on the ground, you know, versus these type of shoes. But they look very nice. This is a derby. So the difference between a derby and an Oxford, for those that don't know, Oxfords, you don't have any flaps. So a derby will always have flaps. Oxfords, the stitching, the shoelaces go directly, you know, from the leather. So there's no flap on that. This is the interior of the shoe. So leather lining is also something that you're going to get different with higher quality shoes. So inside of this shoe, instead of getting the cloth lining or that ortholite lining, you know, that's really made for comfort, with these shoes, leather is like nature's natural comfort feature, right? Because it's already soft and plush. But what it also does, having leather, is it eliminates odor. So that's something that I've been learning. It's so funny, I almost feel like I'm a student of shoes with all this information I've been learning. But leather eliminates odor. So if you have a stinky feet like me, or stinky foot like me, you know, you might want to consider getting some leather shoes. So now I'm just unlacing them because, you know, typically when you get a shoe, it's laced very weird because of the manufacturer's lace. They just want to make sure the shoe is tight. I'm just going to unlace it and make it normal. So bear with me. Shoe fits true to size. I wear 10.5, and the sizing chart told me that they were true to size. So I'm going to try on these shoes with a dress shoe. With a dress sock, excuse me. You never want to put on a cotton sock with a dress shoe because they tend to be thicker and doesn't really tell you whether or not the dress shoe fits, right? So this is a different type of sock. I just want to make sure they fit right. My grown man on right here. I feel these already. All right, so the shoe fits comfortably. A little bit of space in the front, and I like that. I've learned that a lot of dress shoes tend to not fit true to size. These fit perfectly. So if you're looking at Blake McKay shoes, I would say get your true dress size. I really love the elegant design on these. The last is slim and narrow. Something that in 2020 you don't want to get so caught up in is those square cut shoes. You know, that you'll get your typical retailer $50 dress shoes. You tend to get that square snip cut. Not a fan of that, guys. You can elevate your dress style just by changing the shape of the shoes you get. So I like this almond toe, rounded toe. So very nice shoe. I am very pleased with these. Blake McKay, you will definitely get more purchases from this guy. From a comfort standpoint, they feel pretty good. I think I'll have to break these shoes in. So that'll only come with time. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks, I'll have some time to break these in. Now that the quarantine is over. So I'll, you know, try to double up, follow back on that. But I'm very pleased with my first Blake McKay purchase. I'm going to give them a 5 out of 5 on, you know, the first open review that I can give. But yeah, very satisfied.